Tapping, welcome to the transmission. As you know, there's a lot of filth being thrown out left, right, especially if you're in a blue state and a blue city. Growing up, I was taught that a woman wears the skirt. A woman is the one that bears birth, while the man is the one with strength, leads, and produces. But things in today's society is all changed, all upside down, and it's being deliberately done. And the government, other elites, or whatever you want to call it, is declaring warfare on the men of Western society. The term toxic masculinity was coined in the 1980s by a homosexual Caucasian man named Shepard Bliss. During this time, he started a new age men's movement. I believe it's called by the Poetic men's movement, something like that. This happened during the same time of the rise of the LGBT community. This was the mid 1980s to early 1990s. All of this started developing at the same time. What does this tell you? So this started back in the 1980s, right? 40 years ago. But we're just now hearing the term toxic masculinity coming up in the most recent years. When did this start coming about? I don't even know. Can you tell me? Can someone tell me down below when did this term toxic masculinity started coming about again? I think it's like the last 5-6 years I've been hearing this, but this is being done deliberately as a mass psyop of the Western world to both men and women. This term toxic masculinity is putting programs into women where they don't see the value in men. They don't see the value of having a man in the household. They don't see the difference between man and woman. And this is resulting in women trying to become like men. Women are trying to become like men by becoming more masculine, even with the way in dress, their attitudes on life, on work, on relationships, and just even some of the sectors they're engaging in. Growing up, which I thought to be right, which I still think is right, there's man and female work. There are certain stresses a woman can't handle the same way a man can, vice versa. When we go into the society of what's toxic, what's not, and we don't regard gender roles as an actual form of way of life, then it's bound to have a confused society. It's bound to have 13-year-olds thinking that they're not born in the right body. We're bound to have men second guessing their natural characteristics of being aggressive, being a leader. And this is a point where society begins to go into a downturn, go into a downfall. But the best thing about this, we can always rise back up. We become conscious of the warfare that's being put onto us through selective verbatim, the preservatives in the food, the type of clothes they're selling to women and men, the new dress styles. This is not all just for capitalism. This is all to undermine a society, to weaken the society, and to make a society confused. They always say, to confuse someone, you either give them no information or you give them too much information. I haven't read any liberal type news in a while, but a couple months ago, I was reading how they want to teach in school that there's over 50 different genders, when we all know that's not true. This is a mass psyop. It could be done by the FBI, it could be done by the CIA. But these are all implemented programs to make more separation, more divisiveness among society. It also weakens society when we don't move as a unit. So we always have some form of opposition amongst ourselves, amongst the people, when it's really supposed to be the people versus the state, not the people divided into many different groups against each other. You know, we can go into Democrat, Republican, you know, gay, straight, everything, but this is all a ploy to keep us separated so the people who are pulling the strings stay in power. Us men have to take back what's rightfully ours. Nothing really left us but the sanity of our kids' mind, the filth they're teaching children in school, from, you know, books being read, books being written. Look at all the information that's being put out. This is used to downplay your masculinity. And the first step was done in the 1980s by coining a term that's negative associated with masculinity, because this probes the narrative of women always being right, women being smarter, the guys being portrayed as the dumb father in all the cartoons, or the father not being present. All of this has subliminal messaging on the mind to men, to women, to children. And the children go up thinking that this is okay, that this is right. This is how society is supposed to be. They're being born taught into how men can give birth. Women are just as strong as men. We have transgender women being able to compete with sports with cis women. I don't even believe in the term cis, transgender. That's all nonsense. There's only cis. You know? So the word cis means, I'm not even gonna get into this nonsense. This trans cis nonsense, more confusion to our children. So we cannot be so loose with our children and how we share information with them. We gotta be more monitor, be more of a leader, move more into our masculinity, and analyze what's being done to our society. Because we're letting men, you know, of another community, unoriginal men, tell you what a man is like. We're listening to women on what a man is like, what society is like. You go with a masculine man, you find your masculine friend group, and you move as a force. This can be done. This all can be repaired. See, what I always say, everything that goes along in society, everything that goes far in society, it doesn't get super far or mainstream without our participation. So we can't participate in this clown world. We must start putting our foot down and start creating and showing the life we actually want. Start being the model we want to be. Start being the model to the younger boys that's going on, who really can't speak up, or they get dismissed because they're too young. They don't know what they want. Isn't that funny? These people tell you that the children know at like age 8, age 9, that they know that they're born into the wrong body. But if you tell them that they're too young to actually know who they are, they would tell you that it's nonsense. Nah, it's toxic. Any way to dismiss it. So we're in the clown world. Beware of people telling you that masculinity is toxic. Beware of people telling you that this is the proper way and we have to be more exclusive. It's all a ploy to depopularize the world. Yes, said it. It's all population control. They're putting the chemicals to make you gay. They're making you more out there, make it more successful for you to be gay. They're grooming children for them to be gay. They're telling women that you don't need men. This is all a deep ploy on population control. There you go. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the link in the bio for the Cage Bird Still Flies for more keys on this spiritual warfare we're currently in. And the next time, you guys be well.